Welcome to the state of PA football as PA Football News presents its weekly look at high school football across the state. Welcome to the state of PA football as PA Football News presents its weekly look at high school football across the state.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in.
Did you know there are 555 total high school football programs in the state? Did you also know there are a total of 58 college programs ranging from D1 to D3 in the state of Pennsylvania? Whether you're a bulldog, a lion, a crusader, an eagle, or a millionaire, we got you covered.
You already know, turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die.
Here at PA Football News, we got you covered. And now, your host, Billy Splain.
We're live here. We are at Bellefonte. We are at Robin Hood Brewing. I'm Billy Splain. Next to me is Todd Ross, our intern from State College area. We got a packed show coming up for us tonight. I'm excited for tonight. I cannot wait to get things rolling. Todd, what do you think about being on the show tonight?
I'm super excited. This is my first live show. Obviously excited for that. I think it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here tonight too. One thing that we're going to have to welcome to the show, everybody. For those of you who don't know, we are PAFootballNews.com. We're doing a live show tonight here at Robin Hood Brewing in Bellefonte, and we're going to be talking high school football. We've got some good guests coming in. We've got the Bellefonte head coach coming in, and some football players from Bellefonte. We have Bald Eagle coming in, and we have some guys from State College coming over tonight. So we're going to get this show started, and this show is the state of PA football. It's brought to you by the Funding Zone. Right here, the Funding Zone, one of the best fundraisers in the state of Pennsylvania and on the East Coast. If your team needs money, if you need to raise cash for your team, the Funding Zone's where it's at. We're going to play a commercial. They'll give you information later on how to get a hold of the Funding Zone and become a part of their team, and they'll help you raise a lot of money, Todd. They do a great job. We're going to start this off. We've got some big news. We've got some heartbreaking news, some news we just didn't want to hear, and we've got some changes going on. I want to lead the show off with an update. Last week, we all know that there was a player from Karn City, Mason Martin. He was wandering on the field. He was injured. Nobody knew he was injured, but he just collapsed, and it did not look good. They took him to the hospital. They were checking him out, and things just didn't look good at all for Mason. An update from his parents. His parents are doing a great job of keeping the public updated, and they're talking in the hospital, and they just need all your prayers and all your support out in Karn City right now. Karn City is a hurting program. The response across the state for this, Todd, has been tremendous.
I've seen it online, yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing all the teams doing all kinds of special things for Karn City and for Mason, and they're really stepping it up. And I'm proud of the football community out here in Pennsylvania. What a great way to step up and help that young man's family and help him. So we're praying for you too, Mason and Karn City. We got you in our thoughts and our prayers. And another one that's going to be hard for me to describe. On Friday night, I was with Mecklenburg, and I went to the Mecklenburg football game, and it was a good game. And then on Saturday evening, there was a major accident, And it was a freak accident, and assistant coach Flickinger's young daughter was playing, and a tree fell on her and put her in a coma. And unfortunately, for Coach Fickinger, they had to pull the plug and send his daughter to heaven. And that's got to be one of the most heart-wrenching things you can do. I'm a parent, it's hard. So our thoughts and prayers are with all of Mifflinburg. And Coach Flickinger, we're thinking about you every minute. That's tough for me to handle. I couldn't stand that. We have some other big news east of here in Berwick.
Yep.
Coach Mike Bennett has some health issues come up. So Bo Orlando is going to take over the program as an interim coach. We don't know how long. We don't know the severity of what's wrong with Mike. He's going to take some time off. He's going to step away. And he'll be back, when he decides it's time to come back. Or he may not come back at all. We don't know that yet. We don't know how long he's gone. So in Berwick, there's a big change in Berwick. And, that's pretty brave of Mike to have to. He recognized he had a health problem, and he had to step away. And speaking of step away, we're going to step away. We're going to let some of our sponsors tell you about what they have to do. And we're going to lead off with one of those companies that we told you about a little bit earlier, the Funding Zone. So we'll be right back after these words from our sponsor.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Michael Sikorsky from the Funding Zone, the #1 fundraising company in the state of Pennsylvania. If you need help raising funds for your program, please contact us at 570-885-0900. Thank you.
The Cobalt Plus headset system delivers proven performance along with more users, more flexibility. That's why coaches across Pennsylvania trust Cobalt Plus. CoachCom makes tough headset systems for tough teams. We build headsets to help teams win. Call or click to learn more about Cobalt Plus from the proven leader in football communications.
Today's broadcast of the 38th Annual Leisure Lumber Classic is being brought to you by Snappy's Convenience Store and J.J. Powell Home and Commercial Heating and Supplies. Snappy's is a locally owned chain of convenience stores throughout central Pennsylvania, operating 12 locations from Lewistown to Clearfield and beyond. J.J. Powell has been servicing customers in the Clearfield Center and Mifflin counties for over 70 years. Snappy's has a large selection of freshly prepared food and drinks guaranteed to satisfy your mealtime needs. J.J. Powell offers the area's best heating oil price protection program with monthly payments and no cap or fees.
My name is Carlos Bradley. I'm a former NFL player and currently chairman of Safer Sports. What is Safer Sports? We are a soft shell technology company. Our product, the Safer Helmet Cover, has been tested at Virginia Tech Helmet Lab and is proven to reduce the risk of concussion by as much as 77%. So if you have a youth league, a high school or college, and you want to be safer, get in touch with safersports.com.
All right, welcome back to Robin Hood Brewing. Here we are on Billy Splain. This is Todd Ross next to me. We're here. We're live. I'm running the show tonight. We don't have Dan the Man. Dan usually runs the show, so it's me. So if you see me looking at the computer, it's because I'm running the show, and I don't know how else to do anything. So we're excited to be here. I'm real happy to be here.
I am too.
And we've got Bellefonte coming up. But right now, let's talk about a few things that happened last week. And one of the things that happened last week was I went down and I covered Cedar Crest and Central Dauphin East. It was a good game. Cedar Crest pulled away 33-7. Downingtown East was at State College. Todd, why don't you talk about that game for a little bit?
I mean, that was just a great matchup between two great teams. Downingtown really had it in the first half. I think at one point they took a 28-7 lead, but State College battled back, got some nice touchdowns, made some big stops. But what could have been the game-winning field goal was just about a yard short. But it was a great game. Really happy to cover it. And both of those teams have a lot of great football left to be played this season.
Yeah, it's always tough when you take a loss like that last minute. I hope the kicker's okay. Downingtown East, a great team down in District 1. They really are a good team, and you can't take anything away from that team.
Yeah, after the game, I got to talk to the running back, Aiden Harris. He had a great performance, 3 touchdowns, and I just got to talk to him about his connection with his offensive line, and I could just tell that they play for each other. Every time they go out there, it's, they're there to play as a team, and that's really great to see.
I think we're having internet issues. All right, I think we're having internet issues here, so bear with us. We had a few internet issues there going on. Anyway, so we were talking about what was going on with State College, some other games that we had around the area. We're going to have Bellefonte up there. We're going to hear a little bit about what happened with that Chestnut Ridge game. They took one on the chin, 22-0, and Bald Eagle area will be here later. They had a big win, 35-0 over Central Cambria. And Chester beat Cheltenham. I was in Mifflinburg, as I described, and 35-28. It was a really good game. I was glad to be there. It was exciting to be there. So we did that. And some other games from around the area, or around the state, Chester and Cheltenham. That was a close game, Todd, 22-20. Chester came from behind, scored in the last quarter.
Oh, wow.
What a great game that was, too. Malvern Prep and LaSalle. Malvern beat LaSalle College. They're coming up to play Bishop McDevitt this week, so that should be interesting. But Malvern got the win 13-7. McKeesport 17-7 over Penn Trafford. We had Farrell play Warren G. Harding. Warren G. Harding is a school out of Ohio that's a really good school, so that's a big win.
That's a big PA win, yeah. Yeah,
that's a huge win for Pennsylvania, too. And then this one kind of surprised me, but not. A team from the 80s, St. Ignatius, came to they hosted Central Catholic from Pittsburgh, and Central Catholic just ran all over them. That's a team that we're going to have to – they're ranked high on our rankings right now, and we're going to keep our eye on Central Catholic. That's an exciting program. They have things going on right now. Peyton Wayner's throwing the ball around. They got a new head coach out there, and that's going to be something that – actually, I bet you Matt Lintell's watching that too. Matt won't be here tonight. He's at his daughter's at a game. We've got Matt Baney, I believe, coming. Or Mark Baney.
Believe.
So we have Mark Baney coming tonight, so that ought to be interesting. I like Mark. He's a great guy, and he's going to bring some players, so that should be fun.
Great gym teacher, too.
What's that?
Great gym teacher, too.
Oh, Baney?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy, yeah. So one of the other big games out west was Washington. We thought Clareton was going to be a good team this year, but they're 0-2. Washington thumped them 26-0. And here's a big one, Todd. Birch Catholic beating Executive Education Academy. Now, they didn't start off gangbusters last year, but Executive ended up in the playoffs in 2A.
Yeah. They made quite a run, correct?
Yeah, that was quite a run. And this is only their third year in existence for executive education. So that should be interesting to watch and see what happens with them. We have Bishop McDevitt. They also had to come from behind against DePaul Catholic, 46-42. McDevitt ran the table last year, and nobody could come close to him, but DePaul's a pretty good football team. Up in District 2, we had Abington Heights 35, Wilkes-Barre 28. Wilkes-Barre lost a lot of guys, but they're playing hard football. But that's a close game. And here's a team that we're going to cover this weekend: Moshannon Valley over Everett in District 5, 35-27. And Imhotep Charter played Haverford School. Haverford School is a really good football team. They're in the Interac. I don't know if you know what the Interac is.
do.
You do. So they play with Malvern Prep and a couple of those schools down there. So Imhotep with a big 35-0 win over Haverford. And Red Bank Valley had a big win, but we can't call it real big because that was over Karn City. It was 35-6. They called that game at halftime. And that's when all the stuff with Mason Martin went down. So, again, our prayers are with Mason Martin, and we're thinking about you, Mason. Another school that I'm interested in only because the owner of Parma Pizza is the head coach, and Parma is where we do some of our shows. Anthony Sodasani, way to go, Anthony! You're 2-0. You beat York Suburban 20-19. Way to go, Tony! So that's pretty good. Nagle has a big game coming up. We're going to talk about in a minute. Another huge game this weekend. 36-35. Central Dauphin takes down Wilson. Wilson is 0-2, and that's kind of unheard of with Coach Dahm down there. Not a good thing. Bucktail, the smallest school. Ladies and gentlemen, Bucktail is one of the smallest schools in the state. They're 2-0. They line them up. They put 15 guys on the field. They play football, and here they are. So, we always talk about them when teams say, oh, we don't have enough guys. We have to cancel our game. Go to Bucktail, all right? Go on up to Bucktail, and they'll show you how to play. Beaver surprised all of us. Beaver took down Beaver Falls 31-28. And up in District 9, Brockway 14, DuBois 13. What a crazy game that was. Our Phil Pro-Time Myers was there. And one more thing we have to talk about right now is we're in the middle of this heat wave right now. Why am I talking about a heat wave right now? Because in Philadelphia, they're canceling games. So the Pub League canceled all of their games in Philadelphia, which is, I feel bad for the kids down in Philadelphia. I want them to play. I don't want to see this canceling games because of a heat wave. Let's move the game. Philadelphia, can't we find a better solution? Can't we move the game to Monday or Tuesday? I don't care. Let's let the kids play football. Let's just not cancel the game. Let's move it. I know you have a shortage of fields, referees, all that kind of stuff. Talked to Ernie Gallagher. He's a big referee down in that area today, and he said, "Yeah, we'll do whatever we can. We'll play. We'll do nights. Whatever we got to do to help these kids." But Philadelphia doesn't want to hear it, so that's tough. But and I feel bad about those kids. It's real difficult. So, and that's our recap from last week, and. Right now, I'd like to thank a couple of our sponsors, and we're going to run off a couple of sponsors. I want to thank, first off, I want to thank Victory Sports and Fitness for being a sponsor. They're right here in the State College area. Victory, yep. Rob Oshinsky does a good job. I know Jake Hohenschelt trains there, and a couple of the State College guys always go over to Rob, and Rob's a big supporter of State College football. So you got to thank Victory Fitness. We also have to thank Turf Tank. Turf Tank. If you've got a grass field, you got to get Turf Tank. If you have grass fields, multiple, for hockey and field hockey and soccer and stuff, this thing is going to save you hundreds of hours. Turf Tank, you just program it. It puts the lines down. You will not find a straighter line on a field than the one Turf Tank puts down. We also got to thank Sports Paradise. Sports Paradise is an apparel company. Kevin James. They can get you all kind of uniforms for any team you have. They do all kind of stuff. He's running a special right now on Gatorade. So if coaches out there, you need Gatorade, check out Kevin James. You can contact him at 1-609-462-8266. His ad's on our website. Just click on the ad. It'll take you right to his page. We want to thank Shoe Stacks Welding and Supply and Hydraulic Hose in Shenandoah. Great place to get some trucks fixed or get some welding done. If you need hydraulics, to go to Shoe Stacks. And we got to thank one of our main sponsors on our website, Safer Sports. Safer. Right now we're talking about concussions, man. Yep. And they put a little pad on top of your helmet. You can't even tell it's there. It gets painted just like your helmet. You cannot tell. I saw it, Todd. I saw it in a game. They did it in the Philly Club All-Star game. You cannot tell they're wearing something on their helmets. It's about this thick, and it does a great job. It just does an awesome job for them, and it protects our kids. And our kids are number one. We got to protect them. Of course, we got to thank Two Birch Winery. Two Birch Wineries, they sponsored Phil Protime Myers segments. He did some coaches segments that they sponsor. We've got a couple of those segments coming up on our website. We're excited about that. And so Two Birch Winery up in DuBois, I want to thank them. I want to thank Center Wisp. Center Wisp keeps PA football news online over in the valley, man. Center Wisp is one of the best companies. It's a satellite internet company that I can't tell. It's fast enough for my website. So thanks to Center Wisp. Todd, we'll get to some of our other advertisers in a moment here, but let's talk big games coming up this week, Todd. Down in District 1, we have Ridley and Strathaven. That's a big matchup right there. Ridley was ranked. Strathaven is ranked. I believe they are. Yes, they are ranked. And then you have Springford. This is an interesting one. This is one I thought about going to, Todd. Cumberland Valley hosting Springford.
I'm familiar with Cumberland Valley. Mid-Penn Commonwealth team always plays tough.
Yeah, Josh has that team tough. Of course, they graduated one of the best quarterbacks
Isaac
in the state. Isaac Sight was the real deal.
He was.
He's the real deal. So they're struggling trying to get their quarterback. And talking to Coach Josh before the season started, he said that was one of his main goals at Cumberland Valley was to find a quarterback. So right now they're using a run game. They're coming up a little bit short on the games. They came up short last week, but it's a tight one. So that's an interesting one. I almost decided to go to that game. Then this one's kind of special. Hatboro, Horsham, and Springfield. We're going to be down in Horsham next week. I'll announce a little bit more about that later on. Coatesville at Central Dauphin. Central Dauphin has one of the biggest lines I've seen, Todd. You're going to see them.
Yep. For as long as I followed State College, CV's always been one of those CD's always been one of those teams that I look forward to seeing play. They're always really strong, really physical, always just a great program.
Yeah, Coach McNamee has one of the biggest lines in the Commonwealth, and of course it's led by Maryland commit Anthony Robsock, and they've got 3 towering linemen there. They're struggling also getting their skills going and getting their offense rolling, but it's where defense is what they need a little work on. Another interesting game, Crestwood at Wyoming area. Crestwood put up a big fight last week, and it was a close game with Dallas, but Dallas pulled it out. Wyoming area, of course, they've got a stud running back up there who's breaking all kind of records for them, and interesting to see them. Wyoming area, of course, is the home of one of Penn State's linebackers. You don't know? Yep.
I'm blanking.
You're blanking. Oh man, yeah. So we're gonna leave that as a trivia quiz. Hazleton at North Pocono. North Pocono 1-1, I believe. Hempfield at Central York. Central York is rolling, and that's a team we're gonna have to look out for in 6A. Jerry Onchak, of course, his quarterback from last year scored a touchdown at the end of the Penn State game. Bo Prabula.
Yeah.
What do you think? While we're on the subject, let's talk about that. What do you think? Hey, everybody out in the audience, what do you think? Penn State scored a touchdown to end of the game. Is that yay or nay? Yay, right? Yeah, the scrubs got to get, the backup guys got to get time too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I have no problem with that.
I mean, the twos deserve a chance to score. And also the gimmicky play that West Virginia ran for the 2-point conversion, feel like...
Yeah. Just so you know, this place is, we have a nice crowd. So is it West Virginia's fault? They called 3 timeouts before that happened, right? It's West Virginia's fault, right? They caused the touchdown,
so.
Right? That's right, yeah.
I think so.
You call timeout, you deserve to get scored on, right? So anyway, yeah. So that's great. Another big game coming up, Twin Valley and Conrad Weiser. Twin Valley, the real deal. They're playing some good football. Brett Myers, their head coach down there, doing a great job. We'll find out what they have against Conrad Weiser in another huge game. We talked about him earlier. My man, Tony Sotisani, they play Palmyra, a 2-2-0 team is going to bang it out. Here's a game I think I'm going to go to this week. Excuse me. I think I'm going to go down and see Wyomissing at Trinity.
That sounds like a great matchup. Trinity made pretty good run last year in playoffs. Wyomissing, they made it to the state championship, or was
they made it one game short?
Semifinals,
one game short.
Yeah.
But they both have Penn State recruits on their team. Messiah Mickens on one side of the ball, and they got a tight end at Wyomissing on the other side of the ball, who they're both Penn State recruits. And I think Messiah Mickens just committed to Penn State.
He did, yeah. Very exciting for the Nittany Lions.
So that's exciting. And then there's some really big games all over the state. LaSalle College coming to McDevitt. We mentioned that earlier. Harrisburg at Manheim Township.
That's going to be a great matchup. Harrisburg, always a great team.
Sean Lee.
Yeah, great player. Elias Cody Koch, another great player.
I'll say one thing about Lee and Cody Koch. They make a formidable connection. I got to see those guys week 0 down in New York. What a great team. Sean Lee looks a lot better than he did last year. He looks the part of a quarterback this year. He's playing very well. And, of course, on the other side of the ball, Manheim Township has a really good quarterback, too. Landon is a great quarterback. And then another big game is Jersey Shore at Selinsgrove. Tony, you got your eyes on that one, right? Jersey Shore at Selinsgrove? Yeah, buddy. Southern Columbia at Loyal Sock for the revenge tour. Loyal Sock beat Southern Columbia. They were the first team to beat them in regular season in 7 years.
I mean, Southern Columbia is just a dynasty. That's such a strong program every year, it seems like.
Yeah. Oh, I don't disagree. They are strong every year. And then we've got Du Bois at Northern Bedford. And the big one here in this area, in District 6 in Center County, the battle for the bell. Bald Eagle area travels to Penns Valley. Bald Eagle area has the bell. Penns Valley wants the bell back. Hey, you can go to our website tomorrow morning, and we're going to have a story on the bell and how the bell came about and where the bell came from and the story of how it became a trophy in a football game. It's a really neat story. It was done by another new writer of ours, Kerry Charlie. He's going to be writing for Penns Valley. So welcome to the show, or welcome to the team, Kerry. And so that'll be his first article on our website. Bethel Park is at Central Catholic. That's a 5A against a 6A school. Bethel Park was ranked. There's still honorable mention. They took one on. It was a tough loss last week. It was a close one.
The controversy on the extra point.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I saw about that.
Yeah. So that was tough. That's tough to see, yeah.
Yeah.
Penn Hills at Pine Richland. Of course, Pine Richland had that amazing run once they changed quarterbacks last year. So I'm looking forward to that game to see what happens there. And another one, North Catholic visits the pit, the Heinz Field pit.
Yeah, Aliquippa. I mean, it's Aliquippa. If you know PA football, you know Aliquippa. Produced some great players.
For decades.
Decades, yeah. Ty Law is the one that comes to mind for me, at least.
NFL All-Stars.
Yeah, just great players.
Yep, amazing. And one of them just got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, and what's cool about that is he invited the whole team out to watch. So the whole team, the whole Aliquippa team, got to go and watch. That was amazing. That's incredible when you give back like that. North Allegheny at McDowell. That's another one. North Allegheny, we have ranked second. Yep. So that's a big game. McDowell is in our honorable mention. You got to watch out for McDowell. Of course, you're familiar with McDowell. Oh, you were at a monster game last year.
I watched a fantastic game last year. Triple overtime game between State College and McDowell. Probably the best football game I've ever seen, honestly. I mean,
yeah, everybody was. We were all like, we're all waiting for tweets, and you and Phil said your phones were frozen. They couldn't do anything.
Freezing cold. It was football weather. It was a great game.
Yeah, that's amazing. So that's another big game, and we've got Steel Valley. They're 1-0, but they're a strong team, 2 Division I recruits, and they're visiting Seton LaSalle, who they're turning it around, and they're doing a great job at Seton LaSalle. Perry Traditional is at Westinghouse. I'm waiting to see if Westinghouse can become what they were last year. A machine. They were a power last year. They were the long ball king of the field. We're waiting for that to happen with them. Punxsutawney at Red Bank Valley. Pro Time Myers will be there for that game. That's a pretty big game. And both teams look really good. Punxsutawney looks great this year. 2-2-0 teams up in District 10. Sharon and Hickory going to bang heads together. Grove City is 1-1, but don't let that fool you. They're a really good football team. They lost to a great Avonworth football team.
Yep.
And Avonworth is ranked in our rankings too. They're ranked like 5th or 6th or something like that. Grove City travels to Farrell, who had that great big win over that team from Ohio. Northwestern Lehigh and Blue Mountain, that should be a banger of a game down in District 11. Williams Valley and Schuylkill Haven, my friend Mike Farr got his team turned around last week. They did a lot better. We had Schuylkill Valley ranked early, or Schuylkill Haven ranked in the first week in our preseason. They took one on the chin, so we dropped them down, but this should be a good one. Blue Mountain is a team that we are watching. Believe me, I know you saw our rankings out there, Blue Mountain fans. We are watching your team, okay? We're waiting for that big signature win. In Philadelphia, I had a couple games written down here, but we got to mark them off. South Philadelphia, George Washington obviously canceled, so we're not going to have that game. Roman Catholic is at Episcopal Academy. They're playing, which is why I don't understand it. The Interac, the Catholic League are playing football, but the Philly Pub are not playing football.
You're talking, I don't get it either. Let the kids play. I know it's about safety, but you got to give the kids a chance to play, I feel like.
It's all about politics. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And then finally, the other big game, if you're looking for something to do down in Philadelphia, go see Steel High and West Catholic. Steel High is a machine, Todd.
I know.
They're good.
Alex Irby, Andrew Irby, great brother duo.
Yep. Good football players, good football team. So listen, hey, it's time for us to take a break. We're going to go to a couple commercials. And when we come back, we will have Tony Confer and a couple of the Bellefonte Raiders live on the State of PA Football, brought to you by Safer and the Funding Zone. We'll be right back after these messages from a sponsor.
Go around. It's been phenomenal. I think just the ability when you got guys from all over the state, when everyone's got things going on and trying to get organized and practice. Taking the language out of the offense and just giving these guys the ability to just go and learn on the fly from it. For my first experience ever with it, phenomenal. I would certainly use it.
And you want to be safer? Get in touch with Safer Sport.
Lobby. Blue 5. Blue 5. Bobby. Blue 5. Blue 5. Hey. Blue 5. Blue 5.
To our offense at some point in time from the time that we were here in 2017 until the time that we left. And even the 2 years that that I wasn't here and our staff left in 2020, the youth program still ran the system. So we have a lot of kids familiar with the offense. Defensively, we're running a 4-3, which isn't a whole lot different than what they ran last year. It's some different terminology and coverages. We do things a little bit different. But in general, the kids were familiar with the basics of a 4-3 defense. So.
And we had some technical difficulties. So once again, introduce who you have here on the stage.
Okay. I have senior defensive lineman Owen Patina, sophomore linebacker, offensive lineman Logan Rarick, and junior quarterback, free safety Liam Halderman.
Okay, sorry about that. For some reason, the microphone was sticking; it wouldn't come on. But and again, out there in internet land, we're sorry about the technical difficulties. We're talking to Tony Confer, the new head coach at Bellefonte. In the past couple of years, guys, it's been kind of tough. Let's talk to the seniors. What's it been like for the last couple of years trying to get through and trying to stay excited as a Bellefonte football player?
I mean, it honestly came down to us having each other's back and always knowing that we have each other as a team. We always had problems with coaches. We'd have, we wouldn't have the best coaching, and it kind of reflected on us, and we kind of attack each other. But once we learned how to have each other at the end of the year, it kind of made us stronger as a team going into next year. And then we change the philosophy, change how we think, change how we play, and then we stick together constantly. We always had that chemistry together. We've always stuck together. Even when things got rough, we still always played together as a team.
Yeah, it's got to be difficult, though, taking so many losses. What does that do to your psyche, and how do you get past that every week?
Can you repeat that?
When you lose as much as Bellefonte has in the last couple of years, and I don't mean that as an insult. It's some teams go through it. Look, I'm from Berwick. We won 6 titles, and then all of a sudden the bottom fell out, and so I know what it's like. So how do you get past every week and keep grinding that you want to do better? How do you adjust your head for that?
Just knowing that your team has your back and that everyone's going to fight for you. But I mean, those past couple of years, it kind of felt like sometimes we couldn't do that. But now I feel like everyone's bought in to this program and Coach Confer, that everybody's willing to do that now.
And usually, Todd, State College has Todd is a intern over at State College for PA Football News. And Todd, as well as I do, the off-season program is very important. What did you bring in to change? Let's bring one of the players. What did Coach bring in to change your off-season program? Go ahead.
He brought in a nice new lifting system. We started field work earlier and started implementing plays, learning our coverages, that kind of stuff. But we started lifting. He brought in Victory Sports, so we started doing speed and agility with them. That really helped.
Yeah, we talked about Rob earlier. Rob at Victory Sports, he does a great job with talk about that. Just bringing Rob in. Why would you bring somebody like Rob in from Victory Fitness?
Well, when I was here previously as an assistant coach, we always had Rob and Victory Sports here, and it made a great impact on our players and on our team as a whole. The kind of work that they do and the dedication they give to the kids in the program, it's been great, and Rob's been a great resource for me. Being here, and I think the kids, he does well with the kids. I think the kids really enjoyed having him and his team members here helping us out.
What does Rob Boshinski bring to the game for you?
What's up? Rob really pushed me as an athlete, and he pushed our team together as a whole. It's like I've always seen my boys working as hard as they could when he was out there with us, and he made us a better mentally and physically.
Yeah, Rob does a great job. Rob and his whole staff do a great job. They train a lot of area athletes, but for you out there in the internet world, Rob Oshinsky at Victory Fitness will travel. You can find their website on our their website address on our website, pafootballnews.com. They're the sponsor of our offers page. So if you go to our offers page, you'll find information on how to get a hold of Victory Fitness. Rob Oshinsky and his staff will travel to you, and let me tell you, these guys are a testament. They are worth every penny you pay to have them come, and They'll work with you too when you have a budget shortfall.
Absolutely, they've been great to us.
So let's talk philosophies, Tony. What's your philosophy to turn Bellefonte into a winner?
My big thing coming in is family. I think running a football program is a lot like you run a family, and you have to treat each other with dignity and respect. You got to love one another and be there for everybody and support each other. And, instilling as a parent, you always want to instill that toughness in your kids growing up, and you want to teach them how to deal with adversity and how to work through things, because life is difficult. And life is bigger than just football. It's not always about the wins. It's about life lessons, and my goal is to teach these kids to be good husbands someday, to be good fathers someday, and to be able to recognize that they know what it's like to put in hard work. They know what it's like to work through adversity, and when things don't go tough in the real world, that they can overcome those and come out on the other end better for it.
Yeah, all great things. You see the T-shirt all the time, all over the country. High schools have it: God, family, and football. You got to have that in that order. In my opinion, it goes God, family, football, and that's how it goes. If you don't have those first two values, it's really tough to make a team churn the way you want it to go. So what was the first What was the first thing you said to your team when you walked into the team room? Do you remember?
Well, I don't know if I remember exactly what the first thing was that I said.
What do you think it would have been?
I know my first meeting I had with the kids, it was all about change and coming back and being part of change here to get this program moving in the right direction.
I think you have to turn your mic around the other way. Let's turn your mic around the other way. Put it on the other side of you. Yeah, it's this way. Yeah, there you go. Unlike him, we won't have that mark in our hair. Yeah. Try that now.
You got me?
Hey, there you go.
It's all
That's better.
now.
All right. So we were talking about the first thing you said to your guys.
Yeah, that first meeting was just about getting my philosophy across to them and why I came back and my goals for the program. Obviously, we want to win a lot of football games. And, first and foremost, I want these guys to do better for themselves. I want them to do right by their school community. I want them to do right by their communities that they live in. But I told them it was going to be different, and my expectations were going to be very high, and that we were going to move things in a direction of being the most physical football team in our league, and night in and night out wanting to compete, no matter whether it's on Friday nights, no matter it's in the weight room, no matter if it's in the classroom. I just want these guys to learn how to compete and never quit and never give up. Okay, let's talk about that now. Before you took the job at Bellefonte, did you know that the Mountain League was combining with the LHAC, the Laurel Highlands Athletics Conference? I was familiar that was happening, yes.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden you're not just coming to a new team, you're coming to a new team with new opponents, but it has to be kind of a little relief that there's some of the old opponents from the Mountain League there.
Yeah, it's a nice mix of the Mountain League teams, but obviously we get to see some teams that we haven't seen in a while. Central, Bishop Guilfoyle we never played when I was here before. I don't know if Bellefonte's ever played Bishop Guilfoyle.
And Guilfoyle's coming to town this week.
Yes. Chestnut Ridge we played in 2017 when I was there, but that was the only time we played them. Bishop McCourt's new to our schedule, but P.O., Huntington, Penns Valley, Baltimore area, those teams are all the same. Clearfield will be coming in next week as well.
Yeah. So guys, let's move it over to you. What's that like for you now? You've got all these new teams. It's got to be kind of exciting a little bit.
It is kind of exciting knowing I have new opponents, not going against the same 4 or 6 teams each year. And it's nice being in a new conference, new teams, new competition, new opponents. It is exciting in a way.
Of all the teams that came to your schedule that you're not used to seeing, which one was the team that stood out most to one of you guys? Like, you looked at the schedule and went, oh, wow, we're playing them.
I mean, all of them are very good programs that we are playing that are new teams, and they know how to win football games. So I'd say probably just seeing all of those new opponents on our schedule was shocking.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. That's pretty crazy. I mean, you wake up the next morning and you're in the Laurel Highlands Conference, and you got Chestnut Ridge, Bishop Guilfoyle, you got Central back, and all the teams, and you're like, wow, okay, this is cool, this is different. And it's got to be a relief on athletic directors and a relief on you, Coach, knowing that year in and year out, you're pretty much going to know who the teams are, because before that, when you were in the Mountain League, when Bellefonte was the Mountain League, they had to struggle and find 3, 4, 5 opponents every year for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, the league is set up that all your games have to be in league. And then week 10 is kind of, I'll let you know at the end of the season what I think about the week 10 setup where they seed us after week 8 or 9, and then you play somebody from the opposite side of the league that's the same seed as you. But, you know, if you're a 1 seed, I don't know if I want to play another 1 seed week 10 getting into playoffs. But, you know, if you're a middle of the road seed, you know, it's going to be okay. I think at some point the coaches may struggle with that a little bit if you have the higher seeds. But
some of the Mountain Leagues probably will. How do you guys feel about that format? I mean, knowing that you're going to have to face somebody else at the end of the season, which likely won't hurt your playoff hopes. Hopefully you get some wins in there and you're in the playoffs. But how do you feel about not knowing who that last opponent is?
I think it's kind of interesting. Just not like you have no clue who you're playing. So after the last game of the year, you have to go in, figure out who you're playing, watch their film, figure out what they're going to run, figure out how to play against them. Just not knowing is kind of shot in the dark. Who is the film guru on your team? Who's the guy that you guys go to and say, hey, let's watch some film? Who's that guy? I'd probably say Coach Raditz. Yeah, Coach Raditz, yeah. Are there any teammates out here that are like film hounds? They love to watch film all the time?
I got my brother with the same name as me, Big O Hendershot.
So when you look at film, what are you breaking down?
Just what the guards do, what they like to run on third down, first down, what they like to run out of the different formations.
Who's the smartest guy on the football team? I see a lot of hands going up out there. None of them going up right here. Who is the smartest guy on the football team?
I'm going to have to say, who would you say? I'll say Coach Confer.
No. You don't get to say coach. It's got to be a player.
It's got to be a player.
It's got to be a player. Who's the smartest player? Who knows football? Okay, who's the football smartest player on the field?
Oh, that's probably gonna be our quarterback. He stepped up pretty well this year.
Yeah.
Compared to where he was last year and how he played. He started his first game week 10, and he stepped up really good this year, especially with an athlete we had. He had to commit to baseball this year, which is unfortunate. I love playing with him, but you know things happen. He stepped up big time, and I think he really improved his football IQ.
How did you step up big time? What did that take?
I mean, watching film of all the stuff I've done in the past and trying to change everything before the season, I changed all my throwing mechanics from last year to this year. I've changed my footwork. So, I mean, mechanics and footwork are probably the biggest.
Yeah, so who helped you out with that? Was there a particular coach that was very important in doing that?
I went to I have a coach I went to in Lancaster, but I can't think of his name right now. If I can remember it. I'm trying to.
I think I know who you mean, but I can't think of his name either. I stink with names. You should be glad I got your name right tonight. You know? I'm terrible. My wife teases me all the time. She's like, someday you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, what's your name? You know, I'm terrible with names. But I meet people all the time. Yes. And even back, I'm in a place right now. This place that I'm in right now used to be a place called Spectators. I was a professional roadie for 20 years. I was a sound and light man for 20 years. We were here all the time. But even on the road, you meet so many people. It's so hard to remember names. So I just never tried to remember names, and I guess that's stuck with me. Like, I don't remember these. Liam, I remember Liam.
Owen.
Yeah, John.
Logan.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, so Todd, do you have any questions for these guys?
So, what's your favorite thing to do in Bellefonte? What's your favorite activity when you're not practicing or lifting?
Non-football.
Non-football? I'd probably just hang out with a couple teammates, go fishing. I mean, that's all. There's not much to do around here. I'll be honest. There's
Dowdy's
not much.
Hole?
You got to find something to do if you want to do something. So
Where are you fishing? Dowdy's Hole?
we'll fish Spring Creek, Bald Eagle Creek, the Jip Road, the Howard Dam.
Are they allowed to hang out down at Dowdy's Hole? Is that okay? I don't know, man.
Yeah, we go.
See, I know the area pretty good, too. I've been coming out here a long time. Yeah. I don't know the name of that ice cream place down by Dowdy's Hole, though. I don't remember that place. There's an ice cream place down there. And then there was a place down there called the Ranch House, too, and it turned into a biker bar or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Twin Kiss.
Yeah, Twin Kiss, that's it, yeah. Is that still an ice cream place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys go there?
Yeah, I went there a couple of times.
Who has the best car on the football team?
Best car, me.
Yeah, what do you have?
1999 Green Ranger. You can go see it for yourself after this if you want.
A 1999 what?
Green Ranger. Ford Ranger.
See the white one out there? That's mine.
Oh, really, man?
What's up?
What's up, man?
Hey, does yours fly in the air when you hit a bump like mine does?
Oh, yeah.
It's exciting. You're doing 80 miles an hour down to Philadelphia to watch a football game. You hit a bump and your back end goes in the other lane. You're like, yeah. It's a Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You're up. We're breaking Todd in here. Todd's an intern. This is his first time on the air, so we're going to give him a break. But we're helping him with his interview skills a little bit, so throw some questions out there.
Is there any game that you guys scheduled at the beginning of the season that you're like, this is a team we're excited to play?
I'd probably say I'm most excited to play the Mountain League teams again. I mean, especially last year, we were hyped up to go into the season and just be handed a 1-9 record. It was kind of heartbreaking, you kind of get hungry, You want to go back out there, you want to show them what you're really capable of. Last year, that's behind us. We're ready to go do it.
It's a new year, yeah.
Yeah.
For you, team you're looking forward to playing this year?
Just because last year we kind of, at the start of the game, we got crushed by them, but then we went in, last quarter, I think it was, and we put some points up on them. So I think we can get back at them.
Yeah, Clearfield's a tough team. Every year, year in, year out. Of course, they're dealing with it. They have a new coach, too. Tim Chinoco was a coach forever up there. He was their only coach, I think, right?
Tim actually, when I was in high school and I played back then it was the Mid-State All-Star Classic. Now it's the Lesser Lumber.
Yeah.
He was actually my head coach when I played. So that's how long he's been around. And he was in his first maybe 4 or 5 years at Clearfield back then.
Yeah. Anybody have a goal? Does anybody here want to play in a Lesser Lumber game? Huh? Just say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to play in a Lesser Lumber game. I'll tell you what, guys, and folks out there in the internet, any football players watching the show right now, one of the things that's important to me is, and we see it kind of a lacking of it, is kids kind of haphazardly or half-heartedly are excited to play in these all-star games. And Tony, that's a big deal when you get selected for an all-star game.
It is, and it has been a trend, unfortunately, in the last few years of a lot of guys not playing. I get the kids that maybe have a scholarship that they don't want to risk injury. But it's an opportunity to play one more game. It's an honor to be voted in to be able to play any game like that. And, it's discouraging when you see them having trouble filling a roster for the Lesser Lumber.
And I get to make a great graphic for you because I control the website now for the CPFCA. So I get to make a great graphic. I run the CPFCA website. But look, if any of you guys get picked for an all-star game, my suggestion is if you don't have to be somewhere else, participate in it because you get not only do you get cool stuff, you get a really cool memory. Absolutely. Even if you don't win the game, it's a great memory. You get to play against kids and play with kids that you never played against or with before, and it's awesome to be there and have fun. What's your favorite ice cream? Speaking of Twin Kiss.
Mint chocolate chip.
If you were going to go to, we're going to go to a blitz of questions. I got a million lined up. If you were going to go to an amusement park tomorrow, where would it go? Where would it be? Go.
Knoebels.
If somebody pulled up here with a different vehicle and gave you the keys and said, "Here, it's yours," what would you want it to be?
I'm probably going to take my car. You never know what someone hands you keys. You never know what you're going to.
So if somebody pulled up with a Lamborghini and said, "Here you go," you'd say, "Nah, I'm going to drive the Ranger away."
Yep.
Redneck. That's Valley for that's Center County for you. I love it.
Take it and give it to
There's
your
nothing
mom.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I could go out and buy a new car tomorrow, but that's what I drive. A 2001 Ford Ranger. I don't care. I have no pride at all. I don't. Favorite NFL team?
Panthers.
Favorite college football team?
Penn State.
If you could play one sport that you can't play right now, and you are incapable of playing it, in other words, if you tried it, you know you'd stink at it, what would it be?
Ping pong.
Baseball?
Nope,
Ping pong.
Oh, ping pong.
Yeah. I
Oh,
like
ping pong.
Table tennis.
But you like ping pong?
Oh yeah, I play ping pong.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we used to play ping pong in high school. We would go down to this little arcade place. You had a ping pong table. We'd play all day long there. Yeah. Ping pong's fun if you're good at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
If you're not good at
I
it,
play for fun.
yeah, and it's free. We used to go to we used to go to a YMCA and get the paddles. You know. I don't know. Do they have a YMCA anymore? Do they? Oh yeah, they do down here. That's right. Yeah, they have one down there. That's right. Favorite vacation destination that you've never been to? Where do you dream of going?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. The burnt part or the regular part?
The regular part.
I'm sorry. It's, we got to make light of things, that are tragedies too sometimes, just put a smile up. But yeah, Hawaii, I would like to go to Hawaii. I want to see him bury a pig for me and cook it. That would be great. Who's your biggest supporter?
My dad.
Your dad? Is your dad here?
Yes.
Where's he at?
Right there.
Right there.
There's his dad. All right. If your dad is yelling from the stadium and you can hear him, what's he usually yelling? And it has to be G-rated because there are kids watching the show.
Make a play.
Make a play? That's what you yell, make a play? All right, we'll go with that, make a play. Yeah. You got any questions down there, Todd?
Who's your best friend on the team?
Yeah, I picked my good acquaintance Owen Hendershot. He's out here tonight. Owen, raise your hand. There he is.
He's out there yet?
The mullet.
Owen and Owen.
That's awesome.
Yep.
If you go to any football stadium and watch a football game, where would it be?
I go to Akershire Stadium. Watch Steelers play the.
Have you never been there?
No, I've never been there.
Dad.
Oh.
Mom. Somebody. I was looking for Dad. I know that's your kid, but so this is yours? Mom, take him to Akershire. It's not far. Yeah, get him out there. Or Tony, you could take the whole team.
We're going to be going to Lane Stadium this year. Virginia Tech.
As a team?
Oh yeah.
Wow, how cool is that? They're gonna. So you guys know what Virginia Tech's opening is, right? Yes. Huh? Anybody know?
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman. Yeah, it's one of the most exciting. It's one of the most exciting entrances to college football there is.
We're trying to replicate it.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool. That is. So you have a good speaker system over there in Bellefonte now?
It could be better.
It could be better.
Could be better, but it works.
Well, if we like the opening, if they like the opening, then maybe we can talk them into getting. Of course, your athletic director and I are good friends. I run into Deb all over the place. Like
she's everywhere.
I'll be in Pittsburgh. At a camp, and I'll look over, and there's Deb watching a volleyball game. That's a true story. I was like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "Volleyball." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's weird." All right,
I think I've seen her more places outside of Bellefonte than I've seen her in Bellefonte.
I like Deb. I do like Deb. I think Deb's she's a good person.
Yes,
she is. She's a really good person. So
been great to work with so far.
What would you say would be a successful season?
A few wins, just progress. We got to make progress. Put points on the board every game. We can't give up. We're not going to give up. So, yeah.
So you're a senior, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you a senior?
Junior.
You're a junior. So you're a sophomore. You're a junior. Ooh, that worked. I got that right. I just don't know their names. That's all. But so as a senior, you're not going to win a championship.
Yep.
But you want to try your hardest. But you're putting down a foundation for the kids behind you. What's that like? How does that feel for you?
It's a big weight on your shoulders because every action you take places a image right in front of the younger guys, so they think, "Oh, a senior does this, it's okay." but you got to teach them the right mentality, the right effort, the right everything, so they can morph and try to, because I can say this as myself as a freshman, I tried to be like the starting seniors. I tried to look up to them. Whatever they did in practice, I did. Whenever they went hard, I went hard. And it really paved the road for me going down through my sophomore and junior year up to my senior year, where I can soon pass that same mentality back down to the young guys.
Todd, take over the interview.
So as a State College kid, how often do you guys visit State College, and what do you like to do when you visit, if you do?
If I ever go down to State College, I'm obviously going to be getting something. I don't go down there for fun because, right now it's college season. Everyone's everywhere.
Oh, I'm aware.
But if I go down there, I'm probably hanging out with a couple of friends, and we're just riding around trying to find something to do.
If you do visit State College, what do you like to do when you're there?
If I visit State College, I'm either going to a Penn State game or I'm getting fishing supplies.
Where do you get your fishing supplies at?
Dick's.
Trout or bass?
Both.
Both? What's the biggest trout you ever caught?
A 21-inch brown trout.
A 21-inch brown trout? Where'd you catch it? Just where? You don't have to tell me where. Just what creek? We all know there's big trout in Sinking Creek, all right?
Cattle Creek.
In Cattle Creek?
Cattle Creek.
Was it? That's a good stream. I've fished that many times. Cattle Creek's a nice place. Yeah. I like to trout fish all over the place. What's your favorite hobby?
Probably just golf. I'm not very good at golf. Probably just driving.
Neither am I, man. Golf sucks. Golf sucks. Hey, everybody, right? Am I right? It's like, it's so relaxing. Hit the freaking ball. And then it doesn't go in the hole.
You got to get good. It's relaxing when you play well.
Nah. I play that mini golf stuff. Like I took my family on vacation, my daughter Rachel, when she was 15, and we're down in Ocean City, Maryland, and she goes up, we're on the 4th or 5th hole, and it's like a difficult looking thing, and she rears back and swings. The ball goes flying down Interstate 1. I said, that's golf in a nutshell for me. Yeah.
There you go.
If you had to beat one team every single game, and you knew you were going to beat them every single game, who would that team be?
I don't know.
You don't have a team that you want to beat every week. Bad.
That I want to beat?
Yeah, every week you want. If God said to you, you are going to beat this team every game of the year, that's your full season. You're going to play them 10 times, and you're going to pummel them every week. Who is that going to be?
Bald Eagle.
Bald Eagle? Yeah. Same question.
Yeah, Bald Eagle.
Bald Eagle.
Yeah. What's the game called when you play Bald Eagle? Is there a name for the game?
The Cross Mountain Rivalry. But Bald Eagle's right over that mountain, right over there.
Yeah.
And, close rivalry.
I thought it was a battle of the bridge.
It's always been a bad blood. Always been bad blood between us, but...
Wasn't it the Battle of the Bridge?
Yeah, it's
the Curtain Bowl.
It's the Curtain Bowl.
Yeah, it's the Curtain Bowl. That's what it is, yeah.
Curtain Bowl.
And where does that come from?
I forgot about it.
Do you know? Does anybody know where the Curtain Bowl comes from? Where does that name come from?
I don't.
Yeah, not really.
Nobody knows. Oh, Coach, you got to work on the history of this team.
I do.
You got some research to do. Yeah.
Curtain Bowl.
You're gonna have to call. You're gonna have to call Harry Breon. Yeah, Harry Breon. You got to get Harry Breon involved.
Should have had him here tonight.
Yeah, should have had him there. He'd know everything. He'd take over the interview, though. We don't want to do that. No. So anyway, you got Bishop Guilfoyle coming in this week, Tony. What are we looking for against Bishop Guilfoyle? Always a tough team, but they're probably angry.
Well, they were kind of the awakened giant this week against Bishop McCourt, I think. Week 1, they obviously lost to Baldigoria, which, watching them on film, Baldigoria kind of physically took it to them a little bit. And I was surprised watching that film. And then when you turn around this week and watch them against Bishop McCourt, and they put 51 on Bishop McCourt, and, they do a lot of things well. They're physical. They can throw the ball well. They run the ball well. Last week we saw Chestnut Ridge, which their big thing is the option. This week we're going to see,
multiple formations, a team that can throw the ball as well as they can run the ball. And, defensively, they run multiple fronts defensively as well. So it's going to be a tough task. Week one against Central, we really struggled on both sides of the ball. Last week against Chestnut Ridge, I thought defensively, we played well. We were down 15-0 at halftime. We had a chance to score before the first half ended, and we didn't have any timeouts left and kind of ran out of time, and part of that's on me. We come out the second half, and it ended up 34-6, but what I saw from our kids was I saw fight. I challenged them to be more physical than what we were against Central, and they absolutely answered that bell, so to speak. We have to clean some things up offensively, and I'm hoping some of the changes that we implemented this week is going to help with some of that. And, our goal each week is to make progress, to see improvements. It's no secret that our first 6 games are juggernauts across the board. But I need our kids to stay together, play together, and as long as we make adjustments each week and as we make improvements each week in all facets of our game, we're going to get ourselves in a position that we can make a run down the stretch with some games.
All right. Well, I wish you all the best. We'll have a photographer over for the first half of your game, and Mike will be on the sidelines. But we wish Bellefonte the best of luck the rest of the season and Friday night. I want to thank you guys for being on the show. Anthony, I hope you have a great next couple of years here at Bellefonte, and I hope that you help this young man teach these young men how to win.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks
I appreciate it. The Bellefonte Red Raiders, thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate you being here. All right, thanks. So this is the State of PA Football brought to you by the Funding Zone and by Safer Sports. Safer, making your children safer. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back after these messages.
My name is Carlos Bradley. I'm a former NFL player and currently chairman of Safer Sports. What is Safer Sports? We are a soft shell technology company. Our product, the Safer Helmet Cover, has been tested at Virginia Tech Helmet Lab and is proven to reduce the risk of concussion by as much as 77%. So if you have a youth league, a high school, or a college, and you want to be safer, get in touch with safersports.com.
Go route. It's been phenomenal. I think just the ability when you got guys from all over the state and everyone's got things going on and trying to get organized in practice. Taking the language out of the offense and just giving these guys the ability to just go and learn on the fly from it. It's my first experience ever with it, and it's phenomenal. I would certainly use it.
Today's broadcast of the 38th Annual Leisure Lumber Classic is being brought to you by Snappy's Convenience Store and J.J. Powell Home and Commercial Heating and Supplies. Snappy's is a locally owned chain of convenience stores throughout central Pennsylvania, operating 12 locations from Lewistown to Clearfield and beyond. J.J. Powell has been servicing customers in the Clearfield Center and Mifflin counties for over 70 years. Snappy's has a large selection of freshly prepared food and drinks guaranteed to satisfy your mealtime needs. J.J. Powell offers the area's best heating oil price protection program with monthly payments and no cap or fees.
I would recommend becoming an official because you can feel like you're a part of a sport that you love.
We officiate for the athletes and for the sport that we love, and so as long as you keep them first, then it's going to be a great experience.
So the money I've made from officiating for the past few years, I've put all that money into savings to pay to finish my college education. In 6 months, when I complete that, I will not be in any debt.
Officiating the state championship and getting that call to officiate the state championship was an emotional thing for me, just because of what I've been through, you know, the ups and downs, and getting that call really meant a lot to me. Sometimes I see student athletes that I officiated years and years ago, and they say, "Man, you did a great job. Thanks for everything you've done."
At PAFootballNews.com, we've got you covered. If you're looking for the best coverage of high school football in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, check out PAFootballNews.com. From schedules to rankings, game coverage to Friday night scoreboard, live streams, and more, PA Football News is the one-stop shop for everything high school football in Pennsylvania. Follow us on Twitter at PAFootballNews and visit us at PAFootballNews.com. We got you covered.
All right, we're back live here at Robin Hood Brewing in Bellefonte. This is the State of PA Football brought to you by Safer Sports and by the Funding Zone. The Funding Zone is one of the best fundraisers on the East Coast. If you're a team that needs to raise some money, you need to get a hold of the Funding Zone. You can find information on our website, PAFootballNews.com. So we are now joined by a new guest. I want to thank Bellefonte for being here, but we have a new guest here right now. And Todd, I'm going to let you introduce this young man right here to my right. You're very familiar with this guy.
This is State College Defensive Coordinator and gym teacher Matt Baney.
Welcome to the show, Mark.
Thanks.
How you doing,
Thanks
man?
For being here. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah. So let's just get right to the nuts and bolts of the whole thing. How's the team looking this year?
We're doing fine. I mean, we've had 2 games under our belt, and we feel real confident with where we are right now. We had a great game against Williamsport and turned around and faced Downingtown East this past weekend, a strong Downingtown East team, and we were able to battle back and have a chance to win that game at the end, and I think we learned a lot about ourselves at the end of that game.
Yeah, so last year you had one of the better state college teams that I can remember. I mean, that was a really good team you guys had.
Yeah.
You put it together. I mean, you were undefeated going into the semis.
Right.
You had a massive offensive line. What is the transition going from last year to this year with that line?
I think with the offensive line, there's some young guys stepping up that were able to play in some roles last year as we finished the season. I think they're starting to gel a little bit better right now. I know defensively, we're still really young defensively. We have, I think we have 2 seniors on the starting defense right now. So
That's it, just 2 on the whole starting defense.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3.
Justin and Eli.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That is 2. Yeah. Yeah. So you start off with the Williamsport team. Last year, the game with Williamsport didn't end the way we would like to see a football game. Was it a lot better this year?
The difference this year with Williamsport?
Yeah.
I think Williamsport was ready to play. I think they were ready for us, and they had a couple different things. At least offensively, they had a different offensive scheme. So they were more of a spread team this year opposed to last year. I think they were counting on their big running back last year to really kind of lead them through their season. So this year they spread it out, and I think that's more of their emphasis this year is to spread it out and try to get the ball to some of their playmakers.
Yeah, and I know they took a hit. Some of the kids transferred out. That some of their stars,
Yeah,
left and went to a different school. And we don't talk about transfers, but it happened. So whatever. But so coming into this year, you lost a few top linemen, but you've got some big guys back. Jake Hohenschel, obviously, he's a leader on the line.
He is. We've kind of always had the approach since I've been at State College. I mean, we just kind of reload. We don't really rebuild. I mean, and we really put an emphasis on developing kids and playing JV football and making an emphasis on JV football and winning games and trying to get our kids ready to play for Friday night. And we know that when Friday nights roll around, we're gonna have a tough schedule and we're gonna have a tough opponent to play. So we tell our kids all the time when we're playing JV football that it's important to us and to our program because those are the kids that you're going to play against 2-3 years from now.
Yeah, and you guys have State College always to me like I've been around for like the 23 years out here covering them. There's always coaching consistency there. That's important.
Yeah, we've been fortunate to have a really good staff. I myself have been there for 35 years. I started with Coach Pavlechko in the early 90s, and I stayed with
he was such a great guy.
Yeah, he really was.
He was.
And stayed with Dave Lintel and was able to coach Matt Lintel. And then I stayed with Coach Wolski. And
another great guy. Three great guys. Coach Wolski was awesome.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
He was a lot of fun. He was a good guy. Yep. He was one of my favorite interviews, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was. He was. But Coach P was great, too. He was an awesome guy and always had a smile on his face when he's on the field. And, like, he'd walk in, he'd be like, Billy, how you doing? And he'd come over, and he'd make it a point to, like, acknowledge that you're there. And I seen him do it with everybody. So the history of State College and coaching is awesome.
Yeah, we've had a lot of we've had a lot of assistants that's been around for a long time. Prior to me taking over the defense as a defense corner, Mike Snyder had been in that position for quite a long time. Mike came over when Dave Lintel took the head job, so I was able to. I coached linebackers under Mike for a number of years, so I was able to take some of his influence and apply it to what we're doing today as well.
Yeah, and Matt's a good coach too. I always make fun of Matt, the way he calls his offense and stuff like that, but he does a great job with the offense. He does good. Matt Lintel couldn't be here with us tonight. He's at his daughter's volleyball game, and his wife's at his son's game.
And I think she has back to school night too.
Or back to school night. So
it's kind of crazy.
The life of a coach with kids, right?
No question.
Yeah, no question at all. Yeah. So Todd, talk to Mark about how the season's going this year.
Coming off a loss, it's always important to see how you bounce back.
Yeah.
How do you think the energy of practice has been this week?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, we just come off the field tonight. We had a great practice tonight. The kids are focused. These kids have been to the state semifinals 2 years in a row. I mean, they know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to practice well. They know what it takes to adjust. We've been through some adversity in 2 years, and tonight was an amazing night to be able to come back, and they're just ready to get back on the field and play.
Now, Mark, it had to be difficult, like going into you're getting ready. You spent the whole summer doing things.
Yeah.
And you lose your starting quarterback right before the season starts.
Yeah, I think
that's difficult, but it's just something that you guys are always ready for.
We have always had the mentality of it's the next man up, and I can go back 35 years where I can give you a situation where somebody stood up and had to make a play, or step into a starting role or step into some type of role. So we've been so used to that it's one of the two toughest divisions in the state of Pennsylvania. The other being the EPC South with Allentown Central Catholic, Liberty, Freedom, and all them. We talk about it all the time. Those two conferences, I would love to see those two conferences play each other. Yeah.
They're two of the toughest conferences in the state. The Commonwealth, who do you start off with in the Commonwealth?
So right now I think, when I think of the Commonwealth, you just think of any given night. I mean, you're going to get a good game.
Definitely.
But I think the thing that I think about the Commonwealth right now is that there is so much talent in the Commonwealth. There is so much young talent in the Commonwealth and across the board. And when I say the Commonwealth, I should add the Keystone and some of those other divisions. I mean, the Mid-Penn is just loaded with good football players.
Oh, Susquehanna Township's looking really good right now, too. Yeah. I know Coach Eden took a big loss 2 weeks ago. Tough, but last-minute loss. And I like Coach Eden. He's a great guy. But, yeah, the Mid-Penn has some talent right now. And when we look at the league last year, I said the same thing. You guys were actually the veteran club of the league last year.
Right.
And everybody else was young. And now we're to the point where I think you're a year away from being a super conference again.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Carlisle has a lot of young kids,
Yes.
and they're going to be good next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh Oswalt down at Cumberland Valley is doing a great job.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's a meat grinder. How do you prepare for a meat grinder like that?
I'll tell you how we prepare for it. We prepare for it by playing a team like Downingtown East. That's how we prepare for it. I mean, even before we played teams like Downingtown East, we were always playing teams like Bethlehem Liberty. Years ago, we always used to play Erie Cathedral Prep. There were times when McDowell was on the schedule. There were years when we went to North Allegheny, and they were tough games. So we have always kind of had that attitude that we would go play just about anybody because we know what type of competition we're going to see once we hit the Commonwealth.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And this year you've got one heck of a kicker. How important is that?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I'll tell you, as a defensive coordinator, man, just keep kicking them in the end zone.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Where do you guys find these kickers every year?
I'll tell you, I think it's the soccer team, to be quite honest with you. I mean, these kids, we've always had good kickers, but I think a lot of our kickers have been kids that have played youth soccer or have played middle school soccer or have gone out for the high school team or then maybe split between the high school team and the football team. And then we've had kids that just said, I just want to stay with the football team. But it's definitely, I think, the soccer background that's in State College that has provided us with good kickers.
And so, Todd, I'm going to throw you in this interview too because being a new guy. So you've traveled with State College to many different stadiums.
I have.
Memorial Field is one of my favorite settings.
Oh, it's great. It's always cool.
So like when you get to see other fields, how do they compare to what you get to see every week when there's a home game?
I like Cumberland Valley's field quite a bit. I think that's a really great field. I didn't go last year, but 2 years ago I went. It was a really great field, and I've heard it's only gotten better since.
It has.
Harrisburg, that's always just an interesting game. They don't have lights there, so it's always a Saturday game, which is interesting to see.
It's nice to go to Harrisburg now, and you don't get up off the ground looking like a green fur ball.
Well, we're just glad that we get to play at home this year. It feels like we haven't played at home against them for about 8 years.
I know, right? Yeah. It has been a while. It seems like Harrisburg came to town.
Yeah. I'd have to add Chambersburg. Chambersburg Stadium just sits right on top of you. That's a cool place.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice place too, Chambersburg. But Memorial Field is one of my favorite settings. Yeah. The parking stinks, but there's 3 parking garages. A lot of people say it. Like, I can't say the parking stinks because I'm a media guy and I just show that little pass, and they're like, "Hey, there you go." Yep. We parked out front, but you're down, you're in the bowl. Have they fixed the flooding situation?
I don't know if the flooding situation will ever be fixed with a sinkhole there, but I haven't seen it flood yet, so hopefully we don't get any flooding situations.
I know, yeah. And new turf this year?
Yeah, the turf's been awesome. It's a little thicker turf. It was really nice to play on Friday night.
Yeah. Is it slower or faster?
I would probably have to say it might be a little slower just because the blades of grass are a little bit longer, a little thicker.
Yeah.
But it's definitely different than the old track.
All right. So speaking of speed, let's talk about it. Dante Sheffi, how's he looking this year compared to last year?
He's doing well. I'll tell you what the difference in him right now is that last year he was an offensive player. We have him playing defense this year.
See that red light? That's bad. So I'm going to start recording. Yeah, the internet really slowed down in here. Well, this stinks. The internet just wiped out here. I don't know what happened. All right, I think we got her back. All right, I think we're back live, guys. I hope we're back live. We're checking on one. Let me check real quick here to make sure we're on live. I think we're back. It looks like we're streaming. I don't know what happened to the internet there, but and I don't know where we lost the interview at, but we're talking to Mark Baney here, and we're going to go overtime, but I don't really care.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't really care at all. That's important to me that we get the interview in. But talk about the difference in preparing for like a Hollidaysburg compared to preparing.
Game as well.
Hang on. We lost it again. The internet's killing me here. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Yeah, it's taking forever for this stuff to load up.